It's just different when you win at home, though. The pressure to win, it's different than what everybody else is dealing with.
Grant Aimfinger told the TSA agent that I was Bubba Wallace. I'm way too good looking to be Bubba Wallace.
I did get beat by the 12-year-old.
Low-hanging fruit. I need help right now. I need help.
I need a dub.
Welcome to Kevin Harvick's Happy Hour, presented by NASCAR and Fox. I'm Kevin Harvick. She's Kaitlyn Vincie, and that's our friend Slappy.
Hang on, Forrest Gump. Hang on over here, Forrest Gump.
Have you ever seen how fast I can run?
Well, that's the only way you're going to beat Keelan now is by racing on foot. He's gone.
It was a different level this weekend. He went out to qualify, and he went out a lot earlier than I did. And he drove in the corner, and they said, "Looks like there's a lot of grip." I said, "There is no freaking way I'm driving my car that far into the corner. Ain't gonna happen." But he was way more comfortable. He just throttled me all weekend.
We're going to talk all about that, but we're already starting on the show throwing jabs. He called you Slappy.
Yeah, well, I mean, Forrest Gump needs a friend.
Yeah.
You know, he doesn't have any.
Forrest and his friend Slappy. Yeah. Where's that leave you?
Yeah.
Stuck in the middle?
Probably.
Yeah.
Do you remember Forrest's friend in the movie was...
Oh, Bubba.
He didn't have legs.
No, that was Lieutenant Dan.
Lieutenant Dan.
That's you, though.
No.
We're talking about Forrest's friend.
Yeah.
Oh, Bubba.
No, I'm Bubba. Yeah, no, I'm Bubba.
Well,
you can be Lieutenant Dan.
I could be Jenny, I guess.
No, you don't want to be Jenny. We don't want
Jenny.
No.
That's a bad ending for Jenny.
Jenny.
We don't want that ending.
This is a great start to the show. Let's go, baby.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
welcome into episode 42, everybody, of Happy Hour. We have plenty to talk about leaving Atlanta. All of us had a busy weekend. We'll preview Chicago, and of course, Mamba has sips.
Yeah, Harvick Happy Pod.
Slappy sips.
You know, slappy sips are coming at you.
Slappy sips.
The closers were out in Atlanta. Appreciate it. You guys didn't melt off. They were drinking there was some Busch lattes going down this weekend.
And they had to drink a lot of beer because it was the longest race ever.
It was hot. It was so
Long
hot,
and
bro.
hot. Yeah, but how'd it go for you out there? In the pits, pit reporting, our guy was on qualifying. He was doing the alt cast.
We were all over the place. It was fun. I really
did a good
enjoyed it. Got to do a little bit of everything. It reminded me a little bit of our buddy Rutledge roll a little bit, and then being on pit road, and then being with the fans, and just showing different parts of it. Pit crew guys. We were all over. So
I'm just glad you're working.
Listen, man.
The whole race.
The whole race. Yeah.
You don't just do the start of the race and then like,
See you later.
see you guys. Yeah, I'm out.
Typically, I'm flying over the racetrack about stage one.
We're trying to decide whether you got an upgrade or not by the time the race is over.
Good point.
Got that upgrade.
I'm glad you pay attention. KV, though, you were up at Lime Rock in New England.
I was, yep. Double duty, ARCA and Craftsman trucks. I had never been there. It's a really
Beautiful.
cool area.
I've never been there.
Yeah, the fans turned out. Mike Joy was there. He used to race there. I did not know this. So he did a cool little historical piece for us before the broadcast to talk about all the racing that's happened there over the years. But yeah, it was good.
Got to give a plug
was
to
nice.
Got to give a plug to Elon Day.
Oh yes.
love
Did
Elon.
you hear about this story?
No, he's so cool. Such a good dude.
So he was racing the ARCA race, but of course he's from Israel.
Okay.
And when he was getting set to come to the United States is when everything happened with Iran. And basically the Israeli people were told, hey, prepare for whatever's going to happen. And of course he immediately had to figure out how he was going to get to the United States.
Wow.
So
If he could even
he was
leave,
like, can I fly through Jordan, fly through Egypt? But he ended up taking a boat for 30 some hours to the country of Cyprus, which is in the Mediterranean. And then from there, he came to the U.S. 66 hours to be at the race.
Holy cow.
He finished second, and he'll be racing in Sonoma.
That is great.
Yep.
What a story.
NASCAR Euro champ.
Venturini. Yeah.
Really
Very
good story, that
crazy.
is.
I mean, that's some dedication. I had to leave his pregnant wife in Israel.
Well,
Not really know, what the outcome was going to be at the time because of everything that was going on. So pretty unbelievable.
Yeah. So
well,
we had a
that's
good weekend.
much different than the paternity leave that we saw a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, not the same.
Yes, definitely very different.
Yeah.
How was your weekend? Well, let's move into this. The Monroe, Washington escapades.
It was great.
Oh, was it?
My flights were on time.
that's
that
good.
is a
Hotel
win.
was good.
That is a win.
I got there and it was 61 degrees.
Okay.
So that was a plus.
Nice.
And we didn't crash anything.
Okay.
I did get beat by the 12-year-old, but
Again?
this time he just beat me.
Like flat out, you're saying.
First time he finished ahead of me.
Well, okay, fair. That's
Yeah.
fair. That is fair.
First time he finished ahead. This time just start to finish, just beat me. So it was the first time I've watched him in the car because I got to race behind him pretty much all day. It's the first time that I've watched him in the car and I was like, he's confident. He knows how wide his car is. He's comfortable sliding the car around. His side by side was, I mean, they're close enough right there, and I think that, he felt comfortable driving the car in the corner. But man, we raced in front of a capacity crowd, like 7,000 people.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
And,
that is awesome.
Folks at Evergreen Speedway, great promoters, sponsorships sold for every freaking thing there. Purse was high for the competitors. Hayden Plybon won the race, since you can't find it anywhere on NASCAR regional websites, but it is a NASCAR weekly racetrack that nobody heard about over the weekend from the results. But we'll go ahead and talk about Hayden Plybon, who actually is a great Northwest Tour competitor, and we'll give Hayden Plybon some love on our podcast here, since he didn't get it on his NASCAR weekly stuff.
You said the crowd reaction was one of the biggest they had in a decade. Tell that story.
Crowd, I mean, that's the thing that a lot of people don't realize how many hardcore race fans are in the Northwest. And, I've raced up there a few times, but, going back there and not having a truck race there since 1999, they have West races up there. It's just, it's just not the same.
Yeah.
And I had forgotten how many race fans actually live in the Northwest and how much they love racing. But when you see the competitors, we had 37 cars that came in the pits. We didn't start that many for the race. They had some engine issues and crashes and different things throughout the course of the couple days. But I heard more about this show. I told Chase this earlier. They talked about his dad when he used to come and race the West race. They used to have a 500-lap West race that they ran there yearly.
Yeah.
But, I mean, tons of merch, Cup merchandise from 29 car to the 4 car, and just a great all-around event. And we will be going back. And I think when you see something that is that successful, and you realize, a section of the country that is starving for more, just off of that pure excitement for the sport. I mean, it instantly energizes you to want to go back and do it again. So it was one of the best events, short tracks events that I've been a part of, and glad it worked out that way.
The
Pacific Northwest,
Pacific Northwest, and the New England fan bases, they remind
Yes.
me of each other
Very
because
similar.
Yeah.
they are so far away. And if you love racing, it's a deep-rooted passion, and you love your local short tracks like Evergreen, where I'm from, at Thunder Road, and you just, the people there when you go, when the Cup guys showed up, or anyone from NASCAR land showed up, we always showed out. And the fans, it was like a pride thing that when those guys showed up, that you wanted to show them that, like, we love it here and we want you guys to keep coming back. So I love that they came out.
And I think that once you have a truck race and then it leaves, and I heard this a lot this weekend as well, I feel like, we aren't getting any love. We aren't, and the same kind of thing from the competitors. I think that there's a ton of competitors up there. They just need a little bit of structure and organization and something to wrap their arms around.
Yeah.
And I think that the Cars Tour event definitely gave them something, and you could definitely feel the enthusiasm from the competitors and the fans. So
I love that.
that's fun when you get to a place that really wants to be a part of
The
something.
presence, yeah. Very nice. So the Battle of the Harvicks continues on 2-0.
I don't know if it's really continuing on. I think it's kind of over already.
I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but you want him to beat you, don't you? I mean, like,
No,
you're
he does
okay with this? You're proud of him?
Hey, I'm all about it. I think it's I've hid nothing about, stepping out of the car and losing a step or two when you don't do it every week. And the kids are good nowadays, right? Because they race so much. They're exposed to so many more things than what we were exposed to, and they sure as hell learn a lot faster. They absorb. They are sponges. That's for sure. So I'm proud of them.
That's good. Awesome moment for your family. Okay, let's move on to Atlanta race weekend, the race that we thought would never end, as Kevin mentioned. I know you already interviewed Chase Elliott, but that's about as much emotion I think I've ever seen out of him when he got a victory.
Well, I think that there hasn't been very many of those victories to go and for Chase to to put that victory in the win column. It's just different when you win at home, though. And with everything that he had going on with his charity and a hospital and the child being there and winning in your home state and not having won a lot over the past few years. I mean, there's a lot of emotion that goes with this sport, and the passion to win is there, but the pressure to win in the situation like a Chase Elliott has, it's different than what everybody else is dealing with, in my opinion, because there is so much pressure on him to go out and win because he's looked at as the face of the sport. He's got that pressure. He hears that stuff.
Hendrick.
And he's at Hendrick. He's got all the marquee titles in the sport. So, it's not easy for him to go out and not win and have all that pressure on him. I can't imagine dealing with it. There's only a couple guys that I know that have had to deal with that, and that's Chase Elliott and Dale Jr. just from that level of fandom.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's been 5 months, let's face it, already that we're into the season. So it took him a while to get there, but this is good for business to Chase Elliott win. It always is a good day.
It always makes the ratings go way higher.
What was it like being there firsthand, hearing that crowd?
Yeah, so the crowd was going, they were going berserk. They were insane.
Well, plus, it's probably the biggest crowd they've had in a long time.
It was slam packed. The infield, the RV spots, there were none. Like, they had sold out. So, and there was more of that than I thought that there was in Atlanta. I haven't been there that much, so I was shocked. Chase did a great job. I thought the moves that he made were decisive. I thought he was there was a point to every move. Yeah. He was really thought out and methodical about how he did it. And it was a huge win for him and his team. They've been one of the most consistent cars all year. They just hadn't won. Now they've won. Now the whole picture looks a bit different. Everyone talks about you a little bit different because you've got the win. So it's not, well, they haven't won yet. And that conversation gets old. Like, as a driver and as a team, like, yeah, but we're good. But no one cares how good you are if you don't win, right? So,
and it's like he said, we were on the podium at Mexico. We went Atlanta. They've been right there in the top 10 on days when they qualify bad. And he said this, they have to qualify better.
Yeah,
they've got to qualify better to get the results because they know how to grind. They know how to put themselves, in position to take care of their car and have good pit stops and do all the things that they need to do. Just starts too far back.
Yeah, got to give credit to Alex Bowman though. Big credit, because without that push, Chase isn't getting by to make that last move. And Alex is still he's still banged up, like he's still recovering. But if you look at where he's been since that accident, he's still locked in.
Been pretty good.
He's been pretty good since he got hurt.
Improved his points position, plus 39 to the cut line with 8 races to go in the regular season. You kind of referenced the push. Let's talk about those closing laps. Pretty edge of the seat action, right?
It was. I watched. Let me tell you how this went.
Here we go, folks.
I think I like this story.
I came home. I got home at 3:30 yesterday. Totally different time. We got up at 4 a.m.
Oh,
West Coast time.
Okay.
Flew home. Got home. Took a shower and said, I'm going to go watch the race. Lay down, watch the race, watch 3 laps. I'm like, oh, well, I was just thinking nothing, actually. I was asleep.
He said, I'm asleep.
And so I wake up
Forrest
to
Gump
a guy
sleepy.
standing above me, Joe Ryan, telling me that it's Sunday Fun Day. So I go outside and I have a couple beers and I come back in. We're not even halfway through stage 2. Like, what in the hell is happening in Atlanta?
Yeah.
But I did get to watch from there all the way to the end. But those last 10 laps were
sporty.
Absolutely unbelievable.
Do you think that the track, now with it getting some age on it?
So I asked Chase this, and he said over the last 3 races that the first run, the cars are out of control.
Yeah.
And then it gains grip as you go through the race. But he said he felt pretty comfortable in the car. But the thing that I noticed the most since I raced there with the next gen cars is just how much you're able to use that top line and feel comfortable with it. When over the first year and a half, 2 years, you did not want to be all the way anywhere up the racetrack. You had to kind of dime in the corner. But those guys they were everywhere on the racetrack. But the slingshot and those passes that they could barrel off in the corner and slide up in front of the guy, and it was just a moving chicane there at the end because I really thought, without the 48, the 9 has a tough time, but you see the massive run that they had right there, and were able to finish that pass by halfway through the corner, and Then you've got Stenhouse back there, which we knew he was going to be in the mix, and he was. And so, it was just it's a great race. And for me, I didn't like it as a driver, but it is freaking fantastic to watch. And when the cars are going around the racetrack, it looks like they're going 250 miles an hour with the way that the stripes and everything are on the track. And so this whole idea of putting the 1.5 miles and the restrictor plate package and everything that is going on at Atlanta, they've got it going on, and it's very entertaining to watch. Now, I know it's another super speedway race, but it's very entertaining to watch.
Let's keep it there. Let's just keep it where it's at.
Very visually stunning race out there in the Peach State. Chase Elliott got it done. That interview available now. Of course, the victory lap. Well, it didn't go without chaos because there were some major incidents that took place. I want to go back to one of the first ones that involved Christopher Bell. I mean, 2 huge ones, but this was him spinning, causing a multi-car accident in stage 1. What did you guys see taking place
Super easy to do right there. As you go off into turn 3, it's kind of flat and the car kind of unloads and there's some bumps right there. And, you get in a wrong spot and still light outside. So it's not like the track is super
It was pretty early in the race.
Yeah, it's not like the track is super gripped up right here. And you see, he just lost the back of the car and you see the mess that it causes. But we saw Kyle Larson do it last year in turns 1 and 2 with that massive hit that he had. I did it a few years ago in the middle of 1 and 2. So that's just the edge that you live on in Atlanta. But he just lost it.
Every wreck, I think, pretty sure, except maybe Riley, was off of in the middle of 3 and 4. That was like Chaos Corner was down there. And look at RB. Just ride around like he thought he was clear. I was with him over Sunday, and he thought he was clear. He's like, he just clipped me at the very end and shot him up into the fence. And that took out a pretty good amount of good cars.
Yeah.
And then
It really p***ed up your bracket is what you're saying.
what I'm saying is I'm not
Picked all your friends and all your friends wrecked.
First of all, not all of them wrecked. All of them may have been in that wreck.
Yeah.
But
or
they
the
all,
second one.
So, or the second one. But the thing you're talking about, the speed that
wait
they're
a second.
carrying. What?
No.
I'm trying to go with that.
What I'm saying is, it sounds like you jinxed all your friends. You were just talking about this roll that you were on. And,
No, because I picked
and
Ricky
how you
Stenhouse.
don't have any jinx or any of this.
I picked Ricky Stenhouse, and he finished up in the top 10.
And I got all this
He's sixth.
ammunition of you trying to explain yourself when you were picking your bracket. I watched that little clip.
You like that?
And they were giving you grief about picking
They
all your
were.
friends.
But they also gave me grief about
cute
picking
clip,
Ricky Stenhouse and Ty Dillon. And guess what?
Yeah.
I'm the only one probably on this planet that picked them both in the same bracket.
You did that.
First one.
We'll get to that in just
no
a
guts,
second.
no
Yeah.
guts, no gory.
No guts, no glory.
No
There you go.
All right,
guts, no
Slappy.
glory.
Thanks for your insight.
Slappy Moto. Slappy Moto, I mean.
Slappy
Slappy Moto.
Quasimodo over here. Mixing all types of names today.
Well,
Oh, we're off the chains again.
we are. Let's go to the next big incident that happened in stage 2 involving Denny Hamlin and a ton of top contenders once again. The quote Denny had after this was, some zig, some zag, and most crashed. Pulling from Cletus McFarland there with the quote. What'd you see?
Yeah, well, it won't be as popular as Cletus when he said it. But, I think that when they all get stacked up like that and they're not lined up perfectly, sometimes it just spits them out.
Yeah.
It spits. And that to me is what looked like happened. But it's hard to tell when you get them connected like that. But it wiped out a bunch of them.
Yeah, they started
it did.
accordioning a little bit. Well, not even accordion. He just got a run. But the point on the Toyotas is always something that we talk about.
Yeah.
And
For
even,
pushing.
for pushing. So even if you are lined up, it's kind of pointed. It can be a little hairy there. And unfortunately for the most of the field, it became that. And then it changed the race dramatically because of how many cars. I think there was like 23 cars in this wreck.
Yeah.
So like now the runs are different and you can move and try to make a run by yourself without
It was
getting
almost
freight
better.
Mhm.
It was almost better
It
with
was
less
odd-
cars.
Kind of.
Because you had more places to go. There was more space. There wasn't such a long
Yeah.
double file train of cars.
People weren't as aggressive. Like you had, like they were kind of give
Yeah.
and take. There's not a whole lot with 40 cars out
It was like an old school Daytona slingshot race.
there. Do you think that this place is racing more like old school Daytona now?
Well, you said that earlier, and I was like, he's got a point there, but it definitely.
I'm sorry. Hang on. Can we clip that? He
Yeah,
said I have
he's
a
got
point.
a point.
You have a
got a
point.
point.
Slappy
I mean,
got
you
a
make
point.
a lot of points, just most of them not very good.
Slappy point.
See, right? That's why I need that one clipped because see, it went from one end to the other.
Yeah, but your glasses make you look smarter.
Oh, thank you. I
True.
appreciate it.
Yeah.
I'm astute.
So you, astute. So you said the incidents changed kind of the pace of the race. It also changed the temperature of the garage area from calm to chaotic. I like this.
This is your favorite part.
I just think
of
it's
the show.
interesting. So we said it looked like a tow truck area. All these teams having to work on all the carnage of these wrecked race cars. This is the DVP in all its pride and glory.
I mean,
Yeah. Well, good news is you have all the time in the world that you need to fix them in the garage. But yeah, I think it's. I mean, is that fair? I don't know.
I don't know. What do you think?
Do they get parked? Do they have to wait on everybody to get parked? Or?
I mean,
it's fair. I'm making a joke.
The fact that the funny thing is that they have to wait because you got to back them into the stall. Like,
Loved Marty Snyder run around like a crazy man trying to show all the different angles and car chief this and that.
It was funny. He was doing that, and I was like kind of doing the same thing next to him for the alt broadcast. And I'm like trying to run around his camera and not be in the middle of it.
It's always interesting watching those teams though with that organized chaos. Like everyone seems to kind of know what their role is, what they're supposed to be doing, and it's like a orchestrated.
You got to get reps in
and we've seen the 5-car kind of change the game, right? Like they kind of changed the game. It's not acceptable to just say we're done.
Yep.
Everybody's going out there trying to chase a point. And in this instance, there are enough cars crashed that if you get your car back out there before somebody else, you're going to gain some spots.
Yeah.
So, I think it was it's fun to see that game evolve.
It's also different for different tracks. I did talk to Cliff about that this weekend, and he told me that like Kyle wanted from Mexico, he made that choice. He wanted to stay out there.
Right.
And that's the reason why they got that extra point for the fastest lap. Because that
was his primary focus.
That matters. And then the guys are getting reps on fixing the car. And that will matter probably.
What a place like Mexico, I can see why Kyle wanted to stay out there because of the fact that he wanted those real life reps too. It's not like you're gonna hop down in a sports car and make some laps and something to go around that place.
And Cliff said the pit crew too, they're getting reps going opposite direction.
Right.
So like if you ended early, if you pull, that's reps that they don't get either. So it's good.
It's road course season.
Exactly. Squiggly season.
Squiggly season. There's a whole science behind why these teams do the things they do. So you kind of referenced this a little bit. The Denny Hamlin piece of the bracket, who was matched up against Todd Dillon. Correct.
Tyrone,
Tyrone. All right. Yeah. So you had a moment with him.
Yeah, we had Run the video. Watch this. This is pretty good stuff.
I owe apology to the 7. I got in those guys, just got loose and couldn't hold it. And he was having a good race, so I apologize to those guys taking them out. But pretty pumped about our day. And one more thing, all you Denny fans out there, I just knocked your favorite driver out.
He had that plan well. Huh?
I love. So I got something because a lot of the fans.
I got something
to say, man. Because all the time we're hearing that they want to see more character, more personality out of the drivers. Ty does a perfect clip. Like that was perfectly placed and it was awesome, right? So many people coming from my guy's head, like, well, what have you won? Well, what have you done? Denny wrecked. You didn't really beat him. Like, bro, calm down. It's entertainment.
Right.
And if Denny does it all the time, at some point, someone's going to give it back. Don't be mad that it was Ty Dillon who was the one who was smart enough to think about getting it.
Ty Dillon has run pretty respectable this year. It's not like he's just floundering around like he has in the past several years. I mean, he's legitimately run well this year. And, I think when you look at this bracket thing, and it's intriguing, it's fun.
Yeah.
This is fun.
This is fun.
Fun.
F-U-N.
We're here to entertain you guys, so have fun with it.
I'm glad the drivers seem to know who they're matched up against finally.
Yeah. Oh, they know. There's $1 million on the line. They know. They know. And when you look through that bracket now, there's not too many favorites in there. I mean, you've got Chase Elliott obviously in there. The most intriguing matchup to me this week is Ty Gibbs against AJ Allmendinger.
Yeah, that one's hot
at the road course. And then, a lot of the favorites got knocked out right off the bat. So this thing is going to get mixed up again here this weekend.
Can't wait.
Kevin, you led me perfectly to the next thing I wanted to make a comment about is the Chris Gabehart story that kind of came out over the weekend, that he is taking a more vocal role with Ty Gibbs's team. It showed him sitting on the pit box. We've seen this in the past with Chad Canals' 48 and stuff like that. But that's interesting because their performance has significantly improved over the last 3 weeks.
Yeah, well, I think with Ty, it's improved a lot over the last 2 or 3 months, right?
Mhm.
I think that they've had the speed to be able to win races. I think that just getting all the I's dotted and the T's crossed to be able to finish that off and actually get to victory lane is the part that they're working on, and being able to just not have because in cup racing there's those 1 or 2 moments, right? And you either make it or you break it when you have a chance to win. And if you make those 1 or 2 mistakes and don't have those right calls, right moves, right restart, whatever it is in those 1 or 2 moments, somebody else is going to, and they're going to beat you, and you're not going to get to victory lane. So there's just, I think Joe Gibbs Racing is just looking for that last little crumb to now they've got the 54 performance back where everybody expects it to be. Now, what's that last piece of the puzzle to push it over the edge? And I think, having Chris Gabehart there helping make decisions is going to put it in a position that brings a lot of experience to a very young team.
Yeah, I mean,
go ahead.
You got one of the best minds in NASCAR helping you get there. So everyone feels like this is really important to get Ty over the hump, because we know once you get that one win, it can kind of open the floodgates a little bit. Your confidence is up. You're walking, you're talking, everything is a little different. And he just needs that, because the Ty Gibbs that won the Xfinity Series Championship, hasn't been able to come back because he hasn't had similar success yet. We need that guy.
Yeah, and I think that, one of my favorite parts of this week is going to be the fact that I got to interview Joe Gibbs.
Oh, there you go.
Right,
So
Coach
Joe Gibbs is our Thursday conversation this week.
It's gonna be great.
He's the best storyteller. He has great stories.
We look forward to that on Thursday. We're talking about teams making gains. Another one I want to mention is Eric Jones, who finished 5th over the weekend.
Dude,
to me, the stat that tells the biggest story about this team right now, 30th to 18th in the points in the last 9 weeks. He is currently 49 below the cut. I mean, that's a respectable progress right there.
And we've covered this a couple times just sporadically, but now it's consistent.
Yeah.
Right? Now both of these cars are running up in the front, doing what they need to do. And Eric Jones has the experience to win. He has the experience to go out, and he knows how to win. He's already done it. And so I know he hasn't done it in a long time, but I think a lot of that is the equipment that he is driving. He has the capability to go out and win races. It's just a matter of putting all the pieces together. And I'm happy for Jimmy Johnson and everybody at Legacy to finally see all the effort and hard work paying off to get their performance of their cars where it is right now.
Yeah, no, it's great, right? It's good when one car is good, but it's way better when the whole company can share success. And now, because you feel like you made the right moves, right, to be good. And then and you're like, okay, we got John Hunter Nemechek. He's a proven winner at every other series. We got Eric Jones. He's a good cornerstone guy, a good vet.
Yeah.
It just isn't working. Like, what isn't working? And they got, Kenseth is over there. They got a lot of minds over there that have helped make this thing go. And you're like, what is missing? And obviously, they've started to figure it out. I think being around for a little bit, that relationship with Toyota has probably gotten better. They're getting the information that they need to get.
It's just not easy to turn one of these big boats around. When stuff is wrong, you're not fixing it overnight. There's no magic. There's no easy button. Like, you can't just tap the button. Anything that you want to do usually is at a minimum 6 months in making a change. You might be able to tweak some setups and things, but when it's major organizational, structural, whatever it is, thought processes, sim, it's a 6-month project to get anything turned around.
Speaking of pushing the button, that was all the stuff on the Cup side. Corey Heim continues to increase that points lead just like Kevin does on this show. So congrats to Heim time on the big truck winning.
Dude, he's out of control.
He is.
And it's just not even
not Kevin.
It's not even hard.
Yeah. It's just breezing along here.
It's not even hard
it's
for
not hard
Heim.
for either Heim or Harvick in the standings.
I thought he was talking about himself.
Well, I can. Let's just go straight to it.
No, we don't need to.
I did increase my points lead this week.
He did. We'll see that in a little
Kaitlin's still
bit.
in last.
Let's move on. As I mentioned, 8 races left in the regular season. Next up is Chicago, the 3rd year we've been to this particular venue. Chicago Street Race. What are we in for this weekend, Kevin?
Still one of my favorites. I think for me, the impression that it made the first time that I walked into the racetrack in Chicago, I'll never forget it.
Yeah.
It's just it's just, it makes a statement when you see this street course set up and the way that it looks and the way that it races and the atmosphere that it has. And the thing that I always liked about the Chicago street race is just the engagement that everybody there knows what's happening.
Mm.
And that's not the case when you go to all the racetracks. But when you go to the Chicago street race, you might not be there for the race, but you know what's happening. And you know that there's a concert and you know that there's events. And it's just, there's something about it that is just really cool.
That's a great way to summarize it. It makes a statement because I felt the same way when I went last year. I wasn't able to go the first year, but it was kind of breathtaking. Also, just visually seeing the cars with the skyline and everything. It's so.
And I hope
unique.
it's the last one, by the way.
But I think it is.
Yeah,
It's
it's great because of the fact that we can take it anywhere.
Right.
Yes.
Any major city that we want to take it to, we can take it.
Where did you suggest a street race again? It was good. Where did he say?
Oh, he said a bunch.
I don't know.
No, you
Denver.
had a suggestion.
Did you say San
somewhere.
Diego?
No.
I think you said you'd heard that.
Oh, no,
potential.
that's
The San Diego
that's-
thing is
that's-
real.
yeah, that's
like
a real-
I've seen
talking about
multiple stories in conversations talking about somebody. There's obviously some truth to
We're talking about local radio in San Diego.
to the San Diego thing. So
Okay.
I think it's I mean, there's just so many places that you could take. You can take it to downtown Charlotte if you want.
Oh, that's what it was. Where we said
he did-
speed
yeah, he
streets or
said-
something
oh,
like
yeah, we could have
that.
speed
Yeah.
streets downtown in Charlotte. We
That'd
could.
be neat.
We have a
Yeah.
perfectly good racetrack, so we probably don't need to do that.
Yeah,
here
yeah,
in
let's
Charlotte.
say, yeah.
But I think when you can take the clash like we did to the Coliseum, it opens the stadium. If you want to go to a market, you've got no excuse.
We can do it.
Now, you probably paid too much for Chicago,
Oh, maybe.
but you proved you could do it, and you did it in a marquee market. And now you've got that model to take to San Diego, to take to Los Angeles, to take to San Francisco, wherever you want to take it. You can take it in a stadium. You can take it in your city, the street course, and I love it. I love how unique it is, and I think you can take it anywhere, and that's a huge plus for our sport.
Yeah, summertime shy. It's hopefully the weather holds up. Like that's the one thing we haven't had yet for Chicago is just like good weather, so everyone can be out there enjoying it, having a good time. Like we really want to see, but the fans have been coming out every year. I do agree. I think 3 years for any of these events is
Move on.
one too many, but it's hard. I understand on the business side, it's hard to only do 2. But it just seems like it loses a little bit of that last, that last one. I'd rather leave with people wanting it one more time than leave and be like, people feeling
sick
like
of this.
we've done it. You know what I mean? I guess that's kind of a thing, but it's it
Here's
is what
the
it is.
crazy part about this Chicago thing, though.
We gotta look at it because
We haven't mentioned the Dunn Committee in a while.
No, he
Is
doesn't.
this our
No,
Dunn Committee spiel for the day?
I don't know that this
Ish.
necessarily falls in Dunn Committee, but anything that's old is new again.
Yeah.
And Chicagoland was really worn out.
Oh man,
Has the enthusiasm for the Chicago street race created some re-energized enthusiasm for Chicagoland Speedway?
They like to see
Because
it.
with next gen, I believe that 1.5 mile race on that worn out surface with all those bumps
Back to
would
Joliet.
be really good in Juliet.
You know what? You know why I would love to see that is because it would give us a very real point of data to see, did it affect that area like
That
we
market.
think it
Yeah.
has?
Yeah.
Because
That's a great idea.
we think it has
That's a really
affected
good
it heavily. And when we go back, the people there, not the race fans, just the people are excited about it. They're like, oh yeah, I went to the race last year. I'm excited it's coming back.
Yeah.
Or like you left and they're like, I hope you guys are coming back next year. I would love to see it.
And there's
for that.
probably more people outside of the city of Chicago
They'll be more inclined.
that would be more inclined to come to the oval race than go to downtown Chicago.
And I
Let's
think
get it on the Fox half.
Yeah. I
I love that.
I think that the Chicagoland Speedway and the way that it's shaped with the bumps and the way that, and the fact that the asphalt has just been sitting there. And I just believe that taking these next gen cars back to the Chicagoland Speedway would be a great race.
I think it'd
Next
be cool.
gen car on a worn out surface and a
Yep.
mile and a half.
I think the Chicago people
Dial done.
Dial done.
dial them up.
Dial done.
Dial done.
Listen, I think
Double
I
D.
do think the people would come out. I like
I
the
do too.
I know before they didn't, but now they know what we are and they
Yeah.
like what we are and like give them core NASCAR
Yeah.
stuff. I
It's the only time I ever thought I was going to get run over by an orange.
Oh, I remember
Oh,
that.
yeah.
When it was the
I forgot all
Tropicana.
about this.
What?
I went to my I went to visit Renton Springs this weekend.
Okay.
Since we're speaking of Chicagoland,
Oh.
where they used to make all the springs. So I went and saw the facility. They're an aerospace company.
Okay.
Actually. So I went while we were in Washington to visit him because I've never met him and seen him at the racetrack, but never seen him in facility. So we go to Renton Springs. Guy breaks out a box, opens it up, got the valve springs out of my 2001 Chicagoland wind motor.
Wow.
They made all the valve springs for the 01 wind motor. So
That's neat.
That's-
I think dumb stuff like that is cool.
It is cool. I
Yeah.
think we're all nerds then. I mean, we all think that's cool.
He had the whole set.
Oh my God. There
You
go.
know I'm cool.
You know I'm cool.
Yeah.
You know I'm cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, there you go. That's Chicago coming up. We look forward to seeing how all these bracket matchups play out and how your weekend goes out there.
That's gonna be great.
What are you doing this weekend? Anything?
Let's see. The 4th of July is this week. So Keelan's racing Monday, Tuesday at the summer shootout. And then we go to Caraway on Wednesday.
Oh,
and then
wow.
the 4th of
Okay.
July is Thursday. And we have nothing. We have 2 birthdays.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. Keelan's is Monday and Delena's is Monday and Keelan's is Tuesday.
Nice.
don't mess that up.
That's
Yeah. Got a
good.
teenager.
I know he's 13. That's so
Yeah.
crazy to me.
Yeah.
Oh God, that is crazy.
know.
Yeah. Makes me feel old and sad.
Old and sad.
Old and sad.
Oh, well, let's feel happy. It's
Definitely
time
one
for
of those
slappy sips. It's that point. in the show,
Slappy
the old
sips.
Slappy sip.
Yo,
Come on, slapstick. Show us what you got.
I'm so glad I didn't have taken the sip yet.
Might spit it out. Mhm.
I would have for sure because I would have lost it. Ladies and gentlemen. Oh, also, I kept getting told on Twitter that it's not just people from the US that love Mamba Social Sips. It's all over the world. So everyone all over the world, welcome to your favorite segment.
He gets
Mamba's Social
He gets
Sips.
one comment and it's worldwide. Jesus.
Mr. Worldwide over there.
Just saying that
All
if you're
right.
hearing it, it's happening.
Global Mamba.
So the closers from all over the world, we're happy to have you here. And Tom Cruise, right? Tom Cruise is
Who's he?
Tom Cruise. You know Tom Cruise, the guy.
Actor?
Tom Cruise.
Oh.
Driver Tom Cruise. Cole Trickle.
Actor.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, he's been talking about Days of Thunder
This
for
is
a while.
exciting me. Yeah,
And posts like this do not come up for no reason.
it's true.
And he made a long post and used only shots from the Days of Thunder set.
Yep.
With this,
Isn't that Jerry Bruckheimer? Wasn't that the director too? The guy.
Either way, I
Right?
love whatever's
I think so.
happening. I love the enthusiasm for racing with the F1
Mhm.
movie coming out and him talking about the Days of Thunder. And maybe he's just
Mhm.
jealous enough to make it happen. Let's do it.
I would love
Rising
to see
tides
it.
raise all ships. Well, you figure like he did the Top Gun remake where he was, the Maverick. So why not do a remake for the Days of Thunder?
How can he not? Especially
you know,
What would the storyline be? I mean, we kind of know what the
Oh,
storyline
man.
was
Nicole
for the first
Kidman's out because they're obviously
Yeah.
not
yeah.
together.
What do you think?
He needs a new redhead.
What do you think the story? It would have to be like becoming like an owner, right? Like kind of like in the Cars movie when Lightning like gave up his ride to let the
Mm-hmm.
young
He's probably
lady
gonna be
race.
coaching some next up and coming kid.
What do
or
you? I mean, do you hand the ride off to William Byron and make a movie out of it, or
I don't
What
know
do
what
you
you do. I don't know. Or we could just be like, what was that IndyCar one with Sylvester Stallone?
Oh, that one.
Driven.
Driven.
Where
That
Joe
one was-
Tonto, he comes back and
That was super corny.
I love that movie. And I love Chip Ganassi in that movie. Chip, you're a great actor. I love that.
Cole
part.
Trickle? I mean, that's obviously I think that has a little bit to do with the Dick Trickle.
I think I do
Name.
agree.
It's funny because when I would go places and people, oh, what do you do? Oh, you're a NASCAR driver? Oh, what's your name? I'm Dick Trickle. That was always my go-to was Dick
No,
Trickle.
oh, yours
Trickle.
was?
Oh, that's what, yeah. I mean, when you have
Brother.
just people that are trying to create conversation that
Yeah.
are just trying to create conversation and have no clue what you do, who you are, or what's going
That's
on, which
funny.
is totally fine. But sometimes it can be fun just to play some games.
Yeah. was-
You play games?
Yeah.
Never.
I was going through TSA one time, and Grant Ainfinger told the TSA agent that I was Bubba Wallace.
Really?
I said, I'm way too good looking to be Bubba Wallace, so let's just leave that
Good
where
for
it's at.
Grant. I
And
didn't know he was a prankster.
No,
like that.
Grant's good. Yeah,
Good.
Grant's got it too. All right. Also, RFK, they do a great job on their social media, and they've been crushing it. So this weekend, we had Cinnamon Toast Crunch on a car. It was on Chris Buescher's car. And the bucket hat is fire. And I told Chris over the weekend, I'm like, I don't know what about it, but this fits you.
That thing is funny with the tongue out.
The singular
The mascot.
piece of Cinnamon Toast Crunch. I love this whole
Cinnamon
thing.
Toast Chris.
Yeah, they did
Yeah.
a great job with it. There's a part of the video where Chris is throwing cinnamon in the air, like LeBron James does, and he did it like 7 times, and he said it got sucked through the AC vent into the trailer, into the hauler. He was a little
Cinnamon spice.
Yeah, he had to pause
Yeah.
to go clean some stuff up. But I thought that was fantastic.
What
That
was
is.
what was your favorite cereal as a kid?
No, that one's pretty high up there. Cinnamon Toast Crunch
It
or
is
Reese's
legit.
Puffs is like,
Reese's Puff?
yeah.
What was yours, Kaitlyn?
I liked Lucky Charms.
Really?
Mhm.
Yeah.
I like Lucky Charms and Fruit Loops.
I figured
Yeah,
you
you
were
can't
like a
go wrong with
Cheerios
Fruit
guy.
Loops. Yeah.
Raisin
Fruit
Bran.
Loops are good.
Um,
Raisin Bran.
Yeah, I just figured you were.
If I'm gonna eat cereal and drink a bunch of milk, I'm gonna at least have cereal that I like.
Raisin Bran.
Yeah.
He was insulted by
What's
that
one of the craziest things or funniest things that the sponsors have made you do?
Oh my God.
I always think of the millennial car.
Yeah, and that was fun. I mean, Bush always did fun stuff
Yeah.
with the sponsorship schemes. But the millennial car was fun because they didn't show it to me until they showed it to me. So I didn't see it. And I walked into this pink car with all this
Mhm.
dumb stuff all
Right.
over the side of it. But it was fun.
It was.
And to this day, I mean, there were still more people standing outside of my garage at that time because of the pink car than anything we were doing on a racetrack.
That is
They just wanted to see me climb into the pink car.
with the pink fire suit.
I had a white fire suit.
Yeah, it was pretty pink.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was white.
pink. Yeah, I think
But-
it was pink.
You know, I think that we've done all kinds of crazy stuff.
Have you ever? Let me ask you this: have you ever been a part of any other sports draft?
I have not.
No, William Byron has.
Really?
Over the weekend. He's a big Canes fan, huge Carolina Hurricanes fan, and so the NHL draft was going on. He did presented their draft pick over from Atlanta Motor Speedway. from
Really?
Echo Park Speedway. Yeah, he's really good at this. The background that's during the Xfinity race.
pretty
The race is
legit,
going on.
yeah.
It's pretty legit, and he's just standing there in front of a whole room.
So who'd we
auditorium.
pick?
It was a trade, actually.
You got to be kidding me.
Yeah. So all this, right? You finally get to announce the trade as a pick. I mean, a trade.
How bad does that sound?
That's, I mean,
What a bummer.
yeah,
A
I
big
would have been
L.
pretty hyped.
Yeah.
And then you
I
get
mean,
the call.
the whole thing was pretty awesome, and then you got to announce that it's a trade.
You're like, make that trade.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah.
Well, there you have
There you
it.
go.
Listen, no voicemails, no mailbag, but if you want to leave a voicemail, 805-317-4175, and a mailbag can go to harvickhappyhour4@gmail.com.
There you
And
go.
that is your worldwide Mamba
Sips.
Sips.
Yeah,
Cinnamon Toast
very
Crunch.
well done.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort, Kansas, 21 plus age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario, new customers only. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gambling resources, see dkng.co/audio. NASCAR is not responsible for this promotion and used under license.
All right, guys, before we get into our picks for this week, let's take a look at the best bet of the weekend, courtesy of DraftKings.
Man, it was a good one this week. Chase Elliott was plus 1,400.
Was he
Whoa.
really?
Oh, wow.
I thought that was pretty high too.
He's won there before. That's weird.
Yeah.
That's weird.
But I guess they're just going off of all the statistics that they have
Mm.
for everything that's happening this year.
you
And
should just listen to
Recent
Kevin more. I guess they
numbers,
would
yeah.
know.
yeah, I mean, just follow my picks and we'll keep you in the game. If
Yeah.
you want to finish last,
Follow my picks.
follow her. So take the checkered flag with DraftKings Sportsbook. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code Harvick. That's code Harvick for new customers to get $150 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. Only on DraftKings. The crown is yours.
There you
Nice.
have
You
it.
look like you should have a crown on today.
I'm one of these days. I'm gonna have one. Yeah.
yeah.
I really like this jersey.
What's it say?
Southside.
It's the Chicago's White Sox jersey.
Oh,
You
yeah.
didn't even explain your mentality on the shoe
Oh,
selection.
Well, yeah. Typically, I don't wear J's, but if I'm gonna go to a place that Michael Jordan created, I'm gonna.
there
you know.
go.
I went to a
place that
White Sox game.
Did you throw the pitch?
I did.
Did you get it over the plate?
Yeah.
Okay.
I threw out the first pitch at a Knights game.
Did you?
I got it over the plate too.
I'd like to
There's
see you
video
throw.
on. I have it. I'll show you after.
I
this.
forgot.
She's an athlete.
I know. She
Yeah,
told us
easy
that.
way.
She's a runner.
He
Forrest
thought I was
Gump.
just this useless hack, I think.
Yeah.
But I actually do have some skills, Kevin.
Forrest Gump is gonna eat.
Now,
things
did
that
you
he
ever
cannot
do
run
any
with.
like? Did you ever do any like hurdles?
No, I was middle distance, 4x4 relay.
Okay.
Yep.
Can you guys skate?
Like ice skate.
Yeah.
Ice skate.
I have, yeah.
Yeah.
I went looking for some water skis today.
I thought you already got some.
No, I had
Oh,
to
no, you
buy.
have a jet ski or
I
something.
got a jet ski.
Okay, that's what it
Yeah.
was.
2 of them.
Piper
Yeah.
wants to wake surf, and I'm like, I don't think you're quite ready to do that yet. So I went looking for some water skis.
Mm.
Oh,
No,
okay.
he could be a
Do you
water
ski?
skier.
Can you ski?
I can't. I've done it once. I got up once.
never
I
done
said I
it.
mastered that. Next thing.
Mastered that.
I'd like to tow you behind the boat.
That sounds like a threat.
Okay,
I
fine.
would not take that bait.
We bought
if I
new
were you.
tubes this
No
week.
tubes,
You can
I'm
sit
down.
in the tube with Keelan.
No, I'm down for the
Listen,
tube.
a
I wanna do
tube.
the
That
tubes.
sounds fun.
I thought
we
you-
could get on there together.
Yeah, let's rock.
Hey, you know
I'm
what?
in.
You guys could go together, and I'll tow you.
Only if we can get it recorded.
Absolutely.
Okay, then I'm in.
That's a no-brainer.
Okay, I'm in.
There
So
you go.
you guys are in the tube.
I'm down. I'm in.
All right.
Yeah.
Perfect.
He
I'm
looks
so excited.
Deal.
You have no idea.
All right. Speaking of exciting, let's grade this burnout for Mr. Chase Elliott, the Dawsonville native, getting it done in his home state. What do we?
I mean, he has no chance. It's
No
his. I mean, he's going up against himself. I mean, this is
That's true.
this is a great
This is a
burnout.
really good burnout, though.
And lots of smoke, just going for it, kind of just letting it flow.
Letting it all hang out.
But it's just Bowman Gray is going to be tough to beat. But he did a good
Okay.
burnout. So I mean, it's got to be somewhere in the probably
Top five.
Third?
top five,
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
third, fourth.
I feel like
Look at that crowd.
The crowd was amazing. They were going bananas. But the car with the perfect donut on it,
Always
I don't like that. When whoever does the die cast, Lionel, when they do the die cast and it's the win one and it gets that perfect donut in there, that gets me jacked up.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll make a die cast. You'll
Impressive.
get it 8 months from now. But other than that, it's going to be good looking.
8 months from now, be on the lookout for that. Okay. It'll probably take me 8 months to catch up to these standings.
Yeah,
'cause
based
right
upon
now,
the score, it looks
Kevin
that way.
is at a cool 86, Mamba 49, I'm
Who'd
45.
you pick this week?
I picked Logano.
Who are you?
That's
okay.
my fault.
It's okay. I'm going first
Yeah.
today.
Because
I'm
I
not-
really don't
I'm
want
not
you to
dicking
finish
around
last.
today. I'm going
I
first.
want you to beat him badly.
You talked her into Logano? So you're over here
Okay.
talking
Do you
shit.
not remember
and
that?
then you talked her into Logano and
Well,
she
'cause then I
wrecks.
said no. Originally, I said Ricky. We were
Oh.
both going to pick Ricky.
Yeah.
Remember? And you're like, no.
I can't make up.
Now look where that
Now I
got
talked
me.
you in. Now you're losing points.
because
so
of him.
All right,
that
I'm
was
going
bad
first.
advice.
Okay.
Yeah.
My pick for the win in
Where
Chicago
we racing
is
this week?
SVG.
Chicago.
SVG. I'm telling.
Oh, look at her.
Low hanging fruit. I need help right now. I need help.
I need a dub.
She was very quick to just take command. I am going first.
Everyone's copying me if they pick him.
All right,
Okay.
who wants to go next?
Well, you're. I
No,
mean,
go ahead. Go
No,
ahead.
you're second.
Okay. I'm really, honestly, I'm really up in the air about who I should pick on this one.
Hmm.
And I think I'm going to go with Tyler Reddick.
There you go.
He's at speed there before. I think he kind of gave one up there before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they need to keep these good runs going. So I'm going to go Tyler Reddick.
I'm going to look at the weather forecast. I'm going to
That's-
make this super
how,
technical.
How are we going to do this mid-show?
Super
look at,
technical.
Look
No,
at the
look at
weather
this.
Pull
forecast
up the
now.
old weather
Let's
app.
see.
What are we doing?
And I'm not going to tell you if it's raining because you're not changing your pick.
I'm not. I'd never change my pick.
Yeah.
I'm not like letting someone
Sunday.
talk me into a different pick. I'm
50% chance of rain on Sunday.
Well, shocker.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
I'm going to go with Ty Gibbs.
Oh, I like that. And that leads me excellently to the next thing I need to say, which is once again reiterating your Thursday interview.
Yeah. Yeah. It leads right into the Joe Gibbs interview. And, we've been trying to get Joe on here for a while because he's very interesting. And some of the things that he
Yes.
said that led him to his NASCAR career and that he did growing up with cars, I had no idea.
Mm-hmm.
So, and his John Riggins story is great. So I can't wait for everybody
Have you ever read
to
his
hear it.
book? Have you guys read the book?
I have not.
It's excellent. Like
Yeah.
it'll just motivate you to go do so many things.
What?
with
Correct me
life.
if I'm wrong. His first race was Daytona 500 with Dale Jarrett, right? With the
I'm
18
not a-
interstate
First
battery.
win, yeah.
And that was his first. Yeah, that was the first one.
Yeah. Well, that's cool. I'm sure it'll be a really good interview. We look forward to seeing that on Thursday. All right, everybody. Keep subscribing on YouTube, wherever you get your podcasts. Leave a review, leave 5 stars. Call us, voicemail, snail mail, send it all our way.
Pigeons.
We'll have Slappy and Harv and myself back after Chicago.
Slapping Harvick. It sounds like a
See you
cartoon.
then.
No. This is-
Yeah.